Take time out and come to Andy's Health Mart Pharmacy for the best defense against cold and flu season. Chip, Michael, or any of the other pharmacists would be glad to help you with your healthcare needs. Let them slam dunk your symptoms so you can get back into the game. Located at 805 West Fayette. Andy's Health Mart Pharmacy, caring for you and about you.
All right, we're back at Altamont getting ready for the nightcap of our doubleheader. Find out who's going to be playing for the tournament championship Saturday night at 7:30. I love the fact that South Central's got all these player introductions down. And credit where credit's due, Logan Lutz, the freshman, gets out front and gets to meet all the rest of the starters. Everybody's got a different routine when they come out. So that's part of the freshman thing. You got to learn all these things when the people get introduced to the lineup and come out onto the floor. They're frisking each other now. Everybody's got a different gig here. I love it.
And you know what? That's just part of being a team.
Yeah.
Team building, having some fun. And so everybody enjoys their little thing that they've got, and the whole team enjoys it as well.
We'll see what Rick Simmons does when he gets introduced. All right, let's get the lineups real quick here. For South Central, the Cougars 8-12, coached by Rick Simmons. Brett Harmeyer will get a start. Brett Harmeyer, by the way, 8 points away from 1,000, so we will watch for that. He's a 6'1 senior, had 20 in the Tuesday night game. Trevante Hill is a 6'2 senior. He had 16 Tuesday night. Trevor Markley is a 5'10 junior, had 3 the other night. John Arnold is a 6'5 senior. He had 6 points in the win. And Caleb Harpster didn't score, but he hardly ever does. But he is such a good defender, he gets a start. He's a 5'9 junior. So those are the starters for the South Central Cougars. Now for John Nieberge's Altamont Indians, 17-3 on the season. Some votes in the state poll again this week. Ryan Armstrong already passed 1,000 points this year. He's a 5'11 junior, had 15 in the Tuesday win. Clayton Wolf is a 6'1 senior. He had 20 points. Mr. Versatile had 20 points in the Tuesday win. Helped us with the broadcast last night, so Clayton Wolf's a busy guy. Evan Cornett, a 6'5 junior, will start for Altamont. Didn't score in the Tuesday game, but helped around the bucket. Adam Mayhouse is a 6'3 senior. He had 8 points in the Tuesday win. And Brandon Hosick, the other Altamont starter, 6'3 senior, 6-foot senior. He did not start. He did start, but he did not score. So 2 of the Altamont starters didn't score, but they still won. Altamont a winner in the Tuesday contest, as they did battle against Neoga, won it 50-34. South Central beat SED 50-44. Those were the 2 results from Tuesday night, and that's why the matchups that we had for you tonight, it's the same deal tomorrow night. The Wednesday losers will play at 6:15. The Wednesday winners will play at around 7:45. That's just the way it breaks down with 8 teams this year. You know who you're going to match up, or you got 1 of 2 choices, depending on how things go. And now we know 2 of the teams for Saturday, because everybody advances to Saturday this year with 8 teams. So Neoga will be in the 11:30 game against the loser of the first game tomorrow night. And it'll be SED in the 1 o'clock game, the consolation championship, against the winner of the first game tomorrow night. Got a little problems with our equipment. There's a hitch in our get-along, I guess. So that's why it gets louder, softer, and back and forth. So our apologies for that. And we'll see if we can rectify that. Tips controlled by Altamont, and Altamont stepped out of bounds. Hosick went over on the sideline to get the ball and stepped out of bounds right in front of the Altamont bench. So it's out of bounds to South Central. So the game starts with a turnover.
And that's about the quickest turnover you can have, 4 seconds into the ball game.
John Nieberge's talking to the official, but he said he was right on the out of bounds. So Cougar basketball, they'll get the first chance. They didn't get the opening tip, but they do get the first chance to score. Harmeyer with the ball for the Cougars. Again, he's 8 points away from 1,000 for his career. Hill with the ball, and off the ball, big collision. Ball out of bounds to South Central. Altamont crunched into somebody.
Well, Wolf, they said, was trying to fight through a screen, and he got his arms extended. The officials spotted him for the first foul of the ball game.
So Harmeyer leaned down to the baseline here for the Cougars. Bounce pass into Hill. Gray Hill puts it on the floor, gets it out top. Markley on the dribble. He's a junior, one of the few non-seniors out here tonight. There are a couple underclassmen. There's a reach-in foul. Cornett tried to knock it away as they were trying to get it inside to Arnold, and foul on Cornett.
So a couple of fouls less than 30 seconds into the ball game for the Indians as Cornett has his first.
Aaron Lane, Dan Held, and Chad Waterman are officials for this one tonight. Harmeyer looks to get it in and does in the corner to Hill. Back to Harmeyer. Shot inside, knocked away. Put back good, though, by John Arnold. And South Central eventually scores that first trip. That's a long first trip. Armstrong on the other end needs 2 seconds to get the length of the court. Layup's no good, though. And the rebound to South Central. And Markley will bring it down across the half line. Both teams playing man here in the early going. Markley with the ball, right side for the Cougars. Bounce pass now to Hill. Nice cut inside. Layup good. What a pretty pass. Caleb Harpster knifed inside there. And Hill hit him with a beauty. And it's 4-0 Cougars.
Well, his man completely lost track of him, so Harpster went right to the basket, and they found him for the easy layup.
Clayton Wolf with the ball out top. Swings it on the wing now to Mayhouse. Out top, Armstrong back to Mayhouse. Trying to get it to Cornett. Finally did. Drives the baseline. Can't shoot. Kicks it to the corner to Armstrong for 3. And I got it. Ryan Armstrong, the corner 3. And it's 4-3. And now they say Harmeyer stepped across the inbound line. And it'll go back to Altamont on the turnover.
Boy, a couple of unusual turnovers to start this ball game, one for each team. You don't often see a high school basketball player step over the end line when he's trying to inbound it, but that's the call.
Clearly marked here at Altamont, too, so no thing about problem with the lines or anything. Now Armstrong swings it to the other corner and hits another 3. So Ryan Armstrong has hit a 3 from each corner on this end of the floor, and it's 6-4 Altamont. So South Central worked hard to get that 4-0 lead, and it's gone now. We're 2 minutes into it. Armstrong knocks the ball away. Arnold gets it back for the Cougars to Harmeyer. Out top to Markley. They swing it underneath. Gets away from Arnold. Stolen by Altamont. Mayhouse with it. Coming coast to coast. Got it stripped. And a foul. Probably Markley. Maybe Harpster. To be out of bounds to Altamont.
Officials are going to talk it over to make sure they've got the same player with the personal and to make sure they both think it was on the floor. And on the floor is the call that we have.
Whoa.
And Dre Hill gets the personal.
How's it on Dre Hill? He wasn't even near the play. He wonders why, too. Harpster and Markley were both there, and Hill got the foul. Layup's no good by Mayhouse, and the rebound goes to Harpster for South Central. Wow. I don't know why that foul got called on him. Arnold in the corner. They swing it out front to nobody. It went by Harmeyer out of bounds, and the Cougars turn it over. That's 3 already on South Central.
Each team 2 for 3 from the field so far in this ball game.
Armstrong leads South Central 6-4 here. 5.5 to go. Good crowd on hand on this Thursday night. Armstrong out top to Mayhouse. Inside Cornett working hard against 2. Hooks it up. Got it. Nice shot. Evan Cornett. Little hook. And gets his first basket of the tournament. And South Central says, we need to check before this thing gets out of hand. Timeout, South Central. Back in 30. 5:20 to go. Opening quarter at the NTC tournament. It's Altamont 8, South Central 4 on 97.9 XFM.
Russ Broniker, Cadillac, Buick GMC, located on South Route 45 in Effingham. Proud supporters of local sports and this week's NTC tournament.
Job Match Personnel Services supports all the area sports and wishes them the best of luck.
Diedrich Bank would like to be the 6th man on your team at tournament time. They'll back you up with game-winning shots, and you'll be in the bonus time after time. Diedrich
Nieberge Furniture, located at 500.
He doesn't want things to get away from his team, and so calls the timeout while he's down 8-4, and the Cougars can make an inroad here after the TO.
Sam Childerson in the lineup for Altamont, replacing Cornett.
Harmeyer gets it up court to Harpster. Harpster on the dribble. Tried to get it out front. Knocked loose by Altamont. Regained by Markley. They go baseline. Hill puts it up for 2. Too strong. Rebound out of bounds. It'll go to Altamont. Pretty good idea about a shot. A little strong. Rolled off.
Might see a lot of substitutions for the Indians. They usually go 7 or 8 deep and substitute pretty regularly, but they've got a lot of kids suffering from illness. So might see a few more substitutions than normal.
Stamina going to be a problem most likely. We'll see what happens here. Mayhouse gets it to Childerson. Sam backs in. Back out top. Armstrong with the ball. Ryan, you said missed a day of school earlier in the week, right?
That was my understanding.
Clayton Wolf has the ball. Rolls down the lane. Now on the side. Out top. Armstrong for two. In and out. No good. Rebound. Nobody yet. Childerson goes to the floor. He got it, and he passed out to Hill, and then saw Hill out of bounds, so it'll go back to Altamont. Wow, it's like soccer.
Well, Childerson did a great job of battling for that rebound, and he was battling with Arnold, who was given as good as he was getting. And then eventually, as Childerson tried to make an outlet pass, Hill knocked it away, but couldn't control it.
Mayhouse inbounds to Armstrong, and Armstrong lost the handle on it. They say that Harpster ended up touching it last, so it'll stay with Altamont.
And Harpster saved it in, or tried to save it in bounds, and it hit Adam Mayhouse right in the head.
The Schultz family was ready for that loose ball. They're looking up at me grinning. They were ready for that loose ball.
Adam looks no worse for the wear, though.
Altamont gets it inbound. 8-4, Altamont with the ball and a 4-point lead. 4:15 to go in the opening quarter. Winner of this one plays Saturday night at 7:30 for the title. Armstrong lobs it into Childerson. Nice no-look pass back on the give and go, and Armstrong got it and sticks it up and in. Armstrong with 8 already, and there's a 6-point lead for Altamont, 10-4.
That give and go still works.
You bet. Harmeyer across the half line here for the Cougars. They could probably use a bucket this trip. They get it on the side to Harpster. Out top to Markley. Markley on the dribble, left side to Hill. Dre Hill stops off the key, off to Harmeyer. Harmeyer again, 8 away from 1,000. You would presume he'll get them tonight because he had 20 the other night. Here's a ball inside, knocked loose, stolen by Childerson for Altamont. Good feed to Armstrong. Stuck it up and in and drew the foul. What a nice adjustment going up by Ryan Armstrong to get control of that shot, and he drew the foul.
Well, you mentioned control. I never was really sure he ever controlled the ball. He just kind of got it and guided it up towards the hoop as he was fouled by Arnold.
Timeout. South Central wants to chat some more. They're down 8 now. 3:29 to go in the first. Back in a minute at the NTC tournament. It's Altamont 12, South Central 4 here on 97.9 XM.
Nieberge Furniture, located at 500 West Fayette Avenue in Effingham. Locally owned and operated since 1978 and proud sponsors of the NTC tournament.
Good luck to the coaches and players during the tourney. From Jeff Spear at RE/MAX Key Advantage. Outstanding agents, outstanding results. Jeff Spear at RE/MAX Key Advantage, 601 West Fayette in Effingham.
Thanks for watching the 81st Annual NTC Tournament exclusively on 97.9 XFM.
Come see all the redesigned Chevrolet and Toyota models at Dan Heck Chevrolet Toyota, located South Route 45 here in Effingham, or at danheck.com.
Culver's of Effingham supports all local athletes. Stop in uniform after the games at the NTC Tournament for a free One Scoop Sundae.
Good luck to area teams at the National Trail Conference Tournament this week. From your F&N Napa Auto Parts store, use that Napa know-how for money-saving deals.
Got that basket. Now he finally gets to shoot the foul shot. He's been waiting a long time. Armstrong with 10 already. Foul shot, good. Ryan Armstrong may get 2,000. The way he's going, that's 11 already in the opening quarter. You get 11 points in 4.5 minutes. That's pretty good production.
And he hasn't forced anything. Everything's come within the rhythm of the offense, and he's just capitalized on 4 of his 5 opportunities.
His 10 points pushes them up, 11 points rather, pushes them up 13-4, but a nice play inside there. Got it to John Arnold. Got it inside and stuck it up and in. Well, that was with 4, and it's 13-6, and here's a knockaway on the side by Harmeyer. It'll stay with Altamont inbound in front of their bench.
That was definitely a pretty set play after the timeout to get the bucket that South Central surely needed.
Mitchell Stevenson's in for Altamont as we come back after the timeout. He gets the ball to Clayton Wolf. On the side now to Dedman, who's also in the game, Logan Dedman. Out top, Childerson. Side to Clayton Wolf. He goes baseline, lost the handle, but regains it. And he says, just shoot, I'll bring it out here. Off to Armstrong. Side to Dedman. Logan comes baseline, no room. So back to Childerson. Nice catch in the lane. Over on the side, Armstrong for 3 more. In and out, no good. Hill the rebound for South Central. That's a nice shot, just wouldn't stick. Off to Markley, and he gets it across the half line for the Cougars. Pass left side to Harmeyer. Brett Harmeyer carried the ball.
Yep.
Just got too The dribble got away from him. He tried to save it. Gets called for the turnover. That's 5 now. A whole handful on South Central. Cornett had a breather there after the timeout. He's back in for Altamont, and they sit down Clayton Wolf. 13-6 Indians.
South Central's had as many turnovers as they've had shot attempts thus far. That's the problem.
Altamont by 7 with 2:15 to go in the opening quarter. Childerson to Dedman. Dedman on the dribble. Bounce pass back to Childerson. They go down low to Cornett, and it never got there. Nice work by Arnold. Stepped in front of that pass, got the steal for the Cougars. Down to Harmeyer. Harmeyer still yet to score tonight. That's part of South Central's problem. That's why they only have 6 in the quarter. Arnold back out to Hill. Hill down the lane, got hooked along the way. A little hip check, I think, there by Childerson.
Childerson picks up his first. That'll be the team's third, and in the end, that might have prevented 2 points as Hill had a wide open lane to the basket, but he did get clipped on the way at the free throw line.
Mayhouse got a breather, so he's back in. Childerson sits down. Indians by 7. Cougars with the ball. Markley has it. Harmeyer was open in the corner, didn't pull the trigger as Dedman got over there and covered him up. Now the Harmeyer lost the handle on it, picks it back up to Hill. Back over to Harmeyer. Goes baseline. Ray Lance runner for 2 won't go, but he did get fouled going up for the shot. And he'll get a couple at the line here.
Evan Cornett's going to pick up his second foul on that play. Altamont's fourth as a team, as Harmeyer will look to get his first points of the night from the charity strike.
Fred Harmeyer's foul shot, no good. So still sitting on 992 for his career. Altamont makes another change. Down goes Cornett, and into the fray, here's Brandon Hosick.
His grandparents, Steve and Jeannie Lauer, want to remind us to say hello to Gary and Joe Ellis, who are in Destin, Florida, watching the game.
Foul shot, no good. Rebound taken down by Stevenson for Altamont. Yeah, we got to talk about the Ellises. They were some of the people that checked in with us last night. Mentioned them on the morning show this morning. Stevenson goes up for a shot, got fouled. Shot's no good. Mitchell gets 2 at the line here, though. So 2 at the line coming up for Mitchell Stevenson.
Foul was whistled on number 40. That's John Arnold's second and the team's third.
Stevenson's foul shot good. His first point. Had 3 the other night. Dedman gets a breather for Altamont. Clayton Wolf's back. Arnold sits down, and Harpster sits down for South Central. And they brought in Ryan Matheny, a 5'11 sophomore. South Central did. And Markley is back. In the lane, too quick is South Central. Fell in, so Stevenson knew he was going to get a bonus here, even if it didn't go in. It didn't go in, so he gets the bonus. So 3 to make 2 here.
Did you mention Logan Lutz in the ball game as well?
Stevenson's foul shot, good. So Stevenson has 2 points. No, I hadn't. So he's into the action as well for South Central. 15-6. Indians by 9. Cougars with the basketball. Minute 10 to go in the opening quarter. Harmeyer out top. Back on the side to Harmeyer on the pass from Markley. Harmeyer lost the handle on it. Boys had trouble hanging on the ball here in the first quarter. Stolen by Armstrong. Layup good. Ryan Armstrong has not had any trouble hanging on the ball. He has 13 points. And it's 17-6. Altamont by 11. Harmeyer kicks it to the corner. Markley for 3. No good. And a big collision on the rebound. 2 people hit the deck hard. Let's see who got the worst of it and also who got the foul.
Well, Mayhouse is going to pick up the personal. And that'll be Adams' first foul. And it'll be out of bounds on the 15th foul for Altamont.
Thankfully, both players popped right back up. Harmeyer trying to get it inbounds here. They get it on the side to Dre Hill. Now back to Harmeyer. Turnaround shot short. Stevenson the rebound for Altamont. All Indians all the time in this first quarter. They lead at 17-6. Stevenson to the hole. Stuck it up and in. Mitchell Stevenson with 4, and it's 19-6 Indians.
Wow. Nobody stopping ball on the last 2 drives for Altamont, and Armstrong and Stevenson's been able to get right to the rack.
18 seconds left in the first quarter. Hill with it out top for South Central. There's the cutter inside Lutz. Nice feed to Harmeyer. Missed the layup, though. Rebound, Harmeyer goes up strong. Stuck the shoulder down. That's a charge. and it'll go out of bounds to Altamont. Frustrating first quarter for Brett Harmeyer, and offensive foul and the turnover on the Cougars. That's 7 turnovers on South Central in this first quarter. Altamont with 5 seconds to get a shot away here. Stevenson out front, shot for 3, Armstrong. No good. Rebound, Hill. There's the buzzer. 1 quarter in the books. Altamont would like to put that one in the time capsule. After 1, Altamont 19, South Central 6. More action in a minute from the 81st Annual National Trail Conference Tournament on 97.9 XFM.
Bank anywhere, anytime with Go Mobile from Washington Savings Bank in Effingham. Good luck to all the teams at the National Trail Conference Tournament.
It's NTC Tourney Week, and Tingley Insurance in downtown Effingham wishes players fast breaks, jump shots, and lots of rebounds. Tingley Insurance, a proud supporter of high school basketball.
The area's #1 website for local news, sports, weather, and more, 979xfm.com.
Sarah Bush Lincoln is providing greater access to care with 5 new family medicine doctors in the community and 2 walk-in clinics in Mattoon and Charleston to take care of your urgent medical needs when your doctor's not available.
Leisure Times at Keller and Jefferson at Effingham has everything you'll need for your indoor and outdoor recreational needs. Leisure Times, where we specialize in family fun. Martin's IGA Plus has everything you'll need to make a great meal, from certified Angus beef, fresh fruits and vegetables, and mouth-watering bakery items. Check us out.
South Central will get the ball to start the second quarter. As soon as Clayton Wolf gets his shoe tied, we're going to be good to go. 19-6, Altamont with a very impressive first quarter.
They were 7 of 9 from the floor in that quarter.
That's healthy. 13 for Ryan Armstrong for Altamont in that first quarter. So the Cougars are going to look for job 1, trying to slow him down. And there's a travel. Good work by Clayton Wolf. Played Markley tight on defense and forced the walk. Cougars give it back.
Altamont 7 of 9 from the field, 3 of 3 at the free throw line, 2 of 4 from long range. South Central is 3 of 8 from the field, 0 for 2 at the line, and 0 for 1 from deep. They had 7 turnovers to Altamont's 2. Altamont was out-rebounded in that quarter, 5-2.
Altamont working it around the top. Hosick ahead of the key three. Good. His first bucket, 22-6 Indians. And they're putting on a clinic here in the early part of this one. Harmeyer across the half line for South Central. Got it to Markley. Out top, and an injury on an Altamont player. And that is no good. Shot put up and good inside by Trevor Markley. And now we'll check on Clayton Wolf.
Yeah, he came out to try to challenge a pass, and I think he got his foot. I'm not sure if he stepped on another player's foot and rolled his ankle, or if he just had it slip and roll on his own. But it's definitely down towards his ankle, and he has not gotten up yet, not attempted to do anything as far as get on that foot yet.
Yeah, the representative of Benuti is here, and John Nieberg, the Altamont coach, out to take a look. They're going to get him back up, though. I'm glad for that. And they're going to give him plenty of help. He is putting minimal pressure on the foot. Now maybe a little more than I thought. He's trying anyway. Now he just goes off on one foot. It's a right ankle. And it's a hurting. So they get Clayton over to one of the black chair seats, and they'll take a look at him here. Meanwhile, Childerson, or I guess Cornett, comes back in for him. Sorry about that. Clayton's a good kid and works hard and plays a couple of different sports for Altamont, plays them both well.
He's as tough as they come. If there's a way to get back, he will. But, boy, hate to see an injury, especially here during the NTC week for a senior.
So, as we said, Markley did score to make it 22-8. Altamont with the ball, and just back in the game, Evan Cornett took it in the lane and sticks it up and in. So 4 for Cornett. And it's back to a 16-point Altamont lead, 24-8. Harmeyer still on 0 points tonight. Out top to Lutz. Lutz puts it on the floor. Working against Hosick. Bounce pass to Harmeyer. Out top to Markley. Now Arnold comes out top to help. Hill with it, knocked away by Childerson, but regained by Hill. No look pass to the corner to Markley. Back inside to Harmeyer. Never got there. Knocked away by Childerson, and it's off South Central. It'll be Altamont basketball. Altamont makes a change. Eric Wolf checks in. Hosick gets a breather. Matt talked about the fact that Altamont's had some illness, So John Nieberge rotating him in and out on a pretty frequent basis here. Childerson to Mayhouse to Wolf, Eric Wolf. Again, Clayton Wolf's injured, so they're checking on his condition. And Childerson couldn't quite get the break set, and Sam took a hop, and that's Altamont's first turnover of the quarter.
Just their third so far in the ball game, so they've done a pretty good job of taking care of the ball. And by the way, they are 9 for 11 shooting from the field.
That's healthy. So Altamont top seeded in the tournament, showing why. They lead at 24-8 here on South Central. 2 minutes into the second quarter. Markley to Harmeyer. By the way, Armstrong, if he doesn't do enough scoring all those points, is also guarding Harmeyer a lot of the time. Hill with it out top. Looking, puts it on the floor now. Picks it up, tried to go to the corner, and there was nobody there to get it. And South Central bounced it out of bounds. I guess Dre Hill expected someone to be there, and he wasn't.
Well, he was hoping that Markley was going to do a little back cut as the defense was really extended on Markley out on the perimeter, but the two players weren't on the same page, and it just skipped out of bounds.
So a change for the Cougars. Lutz sits down, and they bring into the fray Caleb Harpster, who started the ball game. Altamont leads at 24-8. I don't think anybody expected this. Armstrong brings it across the half line for Altamont. Again, he had 13 in the first quarter for Altamont. Mayhouse with the ball. Stevenson checks in. Their next trip, he reports at the scores table. Mayhouse loads it up for three. Too strong. Rebound taken down by Harpster for South Central. Out to Markley. Here come the Cougars. Markley gets double teamed, goes baseline, puts it up, short, rebound, Childerson for Altamont. To Armstrong. Ryan's going coast to coast, little head fake, and an offensive foul. They say he put up his forearm and gets called for the offensive foul, so a turnover on Altamont to boot.
Got to give a lot of credit on that play to Brett Harmeyer. He's the one who got down there and took the charge. It's Armstrong's first foul. It's the team's sixth, and it's Altamont's second turnover in this second quarter.
Childerson sits down, and Stevenson does check in now for Altamont. 24-8, Altamont by 16. Harmeyer with the ball for South Central. Works right side of the baseline, puts it up, shot no good, and he got called for a charge. Stevenson hit the deck for Altamont. Harmeyer called for the charge, and the turnover on South Central.
Well, that's Harmeyer's second foul, and South Central with their fourth turnover, as Stevenson read the play, got down there to help.
So back-to-back charges. 24-8, Altamont by 16. Going baseline, Armstrong got through somehow to the corner to Stevenson for three, and he got it. Mitchell Stevenson has 7. It's 27-8.
Well, that kid's confidence is growing. That sophomore's getting some big minutes here at the NTC.
Timeout, South Central. Rick Simmons says there's no sense saving them. I'm down 19. Back in 30. 4:34 to go second quarter. At the NTC at Altamont, it's Altamont 27, South Central 8. You're on 97.9 XF.
Tom Henderson State Farm Insurance helps people manage the risk of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and help you realize your dreams. Contact Tom Henderson today. Let our experienced employees at Ride Furniture help you with your furniture and accessory needs. Whether it's just a chair or a house full of furniture, Ride's Furniture and Flooring in Diedrich can help. Crossroads Bank, your locally owned, locally managed, and locally committed bank, has 2 locations to serve you, on South Banker and on North Keller Drive.
Get out and check out the newly remodeled Prime Soul. Boy, they've done a ton of work, and all new merchandise coming in, plus some great bargains on shoes that you'll be astounded at how much damage you can do for just a little amount of money. South Central gets the ball inbounded after the timeout. Altamont in front 27-8. Arnold with the ball to Harpster. Back to Arnold. Baseline to Hill. Out top, Harmeyer shoots for 3. It's no good. It goes out of bounds. They say somebody did touch it for Altamont, so it's going to stay with South Central.
Apparently Cornett got a hand on it when he came out and challenged the shot, as Altamont's really doing a lot of switching as South Central works through that motion offense.
I tell you, Clayton Wolf has both shoes still on, so they're taking their time working on him. Harmeyer shoots and hits a corner 3. So he is now 5 away from 1,000. Nice shot on the other end. Ryan Armstrong brought it to the hole, headed out of bounds, kissed it off the glass, got the shot to go, and drew the foul.
Well, the thing is again, South Central is not sliding off to help once their man on the perimeter is getting beat, and Altamont's just taking it right to the basket. That time the help came too late from Dre Hill, who picks up his second foul. So Harmeyer, Hill, and Arnold all have 2 fouls apiece for the team's total of 6.
Eric Wolf and Mayhouse both sit down for Altamont. Dedman's back. Stevenson with a foul. Armstrong with a foul shot's good. Ryan Armstrong was 16. We're still in the first half. We played a quarter and a half, and Ryan Armstrong has 16 points for Altamont. Harmeyer gets it across the half line, going to the baseline. They cut him off. Back out top to Markley, to Harpster. Baseline to Hill. Shot for 2. Good. Finally, a couple of shots are falling for South Central. It's 30-13. Stevenson to Hosick for Altamont. To Cornett. Shoots from out top. No good. Rebound. Hosick falls down, and there's a whistle, and there's the travel call. He ended up landing when he fell, Hosick, on top of Harpster, and he got called for the walk.
Well, we had a great look at it from up here, and it looked like Hosick had some help getting down towards the ground, but it's Altamont's third turnover.
South Central gets the ball in bounds. Markley picked up his dribble in backcourt, and he looked like a wax statue out there waiting for somebody to come help, and now they try to save it in as Hill threw it to the baseline. Markley was trying to save it. He threw it back in and off an Altamont kid. So South Central catches a bit of a break, and Harmeyer will inbound on the side. Out to Harpster, inside to Arnold. Shot for 2, no good. And there was contact, but nothing special. They say, though, that apparently Cornett got a hand on another one, and it's going to stay with South Central. I didn't see the hand, but I'm a long way from the play. Harmeyer's going to inbound on the baseline. Waiting and waiting and waiting and lobbing to Hill, and he caught it. 30-13 Altamont in front here by 17 with 3 minutes left in the half. Inside Markley, shot blocked by Cornett. Out of bounds. It'll go to South Central.
Well, they made a nice pass initially, but Altamont recovered defensively to swat it out away.
It was 19-6 after 1. It's 11-7 in this second quarter. Markley gets it inbounds deep. See what the Cougars can set up. He goes to the baseline, then got double team, lost the handle on it, goes to the floor, and finally Stevenson just goes to the scrum and picked it out of there for Altamont. That's a nice job. That's 5 turnovers on South Central. Cornett, open pass to the basket, lays it up and in. This has been a clinic, man. Altamont leads at 32-13. Harpster out top, Markley. Markley looking, trying to find somebody who can get open. Now he drives, stops, shot, blocked, or at least affected by Cornett. And Cornett the rebound, then lost it out of bounds. It'll stay with South Central.
That's at least 3 blocks for Cornett in this quarter.
Stevenson gets a breather for Altamont. Mayhouse is back. Mayhouse, Hosick, Cornett, Armstrong, and Dedman out there right now for Altamont. South Central looking to inbound on the baseline. Harmeyer out top to Markley. Inside to Arnold. Spin move. Shot over Cornett. No good. He got Cornett off his feet, and he drew the foul.
And Cornett picks up his 3rd on that play, so no doubt he'll probably spend the rest of the first half on the bench after the first free throw from John Arnold. That's Altamont's 7th team foul.
Childerson's waiting to make his re-entry here. Meanwhile, John Arnold with 4 points at the line here for South Central. Foul shot, rims out, no good.
By the way, they have taken the shoe off and applied a wrap and some ice to Clayton Wolf's ankle down there. He's got his head in a towel right now. Awfully disappointed, but hopefully he'll be able to medicate it and get back quickly for this team.
Cornett down, Childerson in just to make it official. Second one by Arnold, good. So a miss and a make. John Arnold with 5, 32-14. I know it's a big game, but it's also 32-14. If it's better for Clayton to be ready to go Saturday night, I'll bet you'll just take the rest of this one off. Deep 3, no good for Altamont by Dedman. Harmeyer the rebound for South Central. Indians by a bundle. Under 2 minutes to go before halftime. Harmeyer across midcourt. Drives down the lane, puts it up, got it, and drew the foul. So there's 5 for Harmeyer, and he's 3 away from 1,000. And I'll bet you once he gets to 1,000, the weight of the world's going to come off his shoulders, and he can relax, play a little more free and easy.
Adam Mayhouse slid over to try to help, got there late. He picks up his second foul.
Foul shot good, so he completes the three-point play. 6 for Harmeyer, 2 to go to 1,000, and it's 32-17. Childerson out top for Altamont, drives to the baseline, can't shoot, back out top. Dedman down the lane, left hands it up, no good. Rebound, Armstrong got it for Altamont, shot for 2, no good. Dedman this rebound, he got held at least once. I think Arnold now it's going to be the other man. Harpster was there. I knew one of the two.
And so Dedman will head to the free throw line for a couple.
Yeah, he's going to be replaced by Mitchell Stevenson after he shoots. So there's the dilemma. Make the foul shots and come out. Miss the foul shot, stay in the game. Foul shot, good.
Well, it doesn't
Team
matter.
player.
Yeah, you make the first one no matter what.
There you go. Team player. He got the first one down. You're right.
And you make the second one, too.
You bet. 33-17 the score. Here's the second one. Right in the heart. There you go. Logan Dedman showing he's got his heart in the right place. And he's hit. See him at the CEO Experience next Wednesday. Got over 600 and some people coming next Wednesday. Get your tickets. There's still a few available.
It's worth it, too.
You betcha. Dedman has 2 points, his first 2 on those foul shots, makes it 34-17. Down to minute 15 to go before halftime. Harmeyer to Hill for South Central. Hill tries to drive in, lost the handle, stolen. Guess who else? Ryan Armstrong going to the hole, lays it up, no good. Rolled off the rim, no good. And then Hosick let it go, and it's off nobody, and it ends up being South Central basketball.
I tell you what, Armstrong drove so hard towards the basket, it rolled off strong, and there was nothing but Indians there for the rebound, but they just couldn't control it, and it slipped out of bounds.
Rich Simmons a little disappointed by the unimpeded path to the basket there. Harmeyer on the other end shoots, missed, puts it back up and in, and that's 1,000. There's 8 points for Brett Harmeyer and 1,000 for his career. On the other end, Mitchell Stevenson drives in, shoots and misses for Altamont because he got fouled. Stevenson going to the line to shoot a pair here.
Actually, they signaled 1 and 1. So they say the foul was on Arnold. And here's the recognition for Harmeyer.
There it is. So congratulations to Brett Harmeyer on 1,000 points for his career. That's 1,000 more than I had.
Oh. Standing ovation from everybody in the gymnasium.
Working hard. He says, okay, I got there. Nice job. Hosick came up, gave him a hug.
These kids, even though they're from different schools, spend a lot of time together, summer ball and things like that. So they know each other well, especially just being down the road a few miles.
You bet. 34-19. Meanwhile, Stevenson shoots a foul shot. Kept his head together. Yeah. Stand there at the line a long time.
Pretty impressive for the sophomore to be able to keep his calm through all that.
He has 8, and the lead's 16 now, 35-19. So South Central's gotten a little closer. Stevenson's second one good. Mitchell Stevenson quietly has 9 points for Altamont here at close to halftime. It's 36-19.
He can't do much more to help himself out there for the Indians.
Harmeyer with the ball out top to Hill. They're down 17. They'd just like to close out the half well here. Harpster to Hill. Picks up the dribble. Lutz is back in there. Came in during the last dead ball. Lutz tried to split the defense. Couldn't. Off the Hill. Down the lane. Runner for 2. No good. And that's a charge. Well, we had a lot of charges in this game.
This time it was Hosick standing in front and drawing that charge. And that's Hill's 3rd foul on the exchange as well to go along with the team's 7th turnover.
So Altamont up 17 with the ball, down to 15 seconds. So the Indians will see if they can make this lead bigger here before they head to the locker room. Armstrong out top, sitting on 16 already. Triple team, so he goes to Mayhouse, who got inside, sticks it up and in. Smart play. Mayhouse's first basket. The lead is 19 for Altamont. They've doubled the score on South Central as the teams head to the locker room. We at the 81st annual National Trail Conference Tournament at Altamont. Altamont 38, South Central 19. Live coverage, live video streaming, live audio streaming, live radio, and live us. here at the 81st on 97.9 XFM.
Come see all the redesigned Chevrolet and Toyota models at Dan Heck Chevrolet Toyota, located South Route 45 here in Effingham, or at danheck.com.
Sarah Bush Lincoln is providing greater access to care with 5 new family medicine doctors in the community and 2 walk-in clinics in Mattoon and Charleston to take care of your urgent medical needs when your doctor's not available.
Your home for the 81st Annual NTC Tournament, 97.9 XFM.
Good luck to area teams at the National Trail Conference Tournament this week. From your F&N Napa Auto Parts store, use that Napa know-how for money-saving deals.
Bank anywhere, anytime with Go Mobile from Washington Savings Bank in Effingham. Good luck to all the teams at the National Trail Conference Tournament. Stevens Industries, in business for 55 years and an employee-owned company, has produced a winning team and has job opportunities available from production office to the
Wet Pools and Spas in Effingham, where you'll find top-of-the-line spas and above and in-ground pools at affordable prices.
Brown's Drug Store at 115 West Jefferson Avenue in Effingham is more than just a pharmacy. Check out their Hallmark cards, gifts, healthcare needs, and more.
Stevens Industries, in business for 55 years and an employee-owned company, has produced a winning team and has job opportunities available from production office to the manufacturing.
New you! Russ Broniker, Cadillac, Buick GMC, located on South Route 45 in Effingham. Proud supporters of local sports and this week's NTC Tournament.
Job Match Personnel Services supports all the area sports and wishes them the best of luck.
Diedrich Bank would like to be the 6th man on your team at tournament time. They'll back you up with game-winning shots, and you'll be in the bonus time after time. Diedrich Bank, live.
This is the Compass Advisory Group Halftime Show. For all of your insurance needs, contact Corey McDaniel at 347-9697.
We're at Altamont Community High School, and at halftime of the nightcap of our doubleheader on this Thursday night, Altamont leads South Central 38-19. They doubled the score on the Cougars. Altamont got out of the gate in style, man, 19-6 after the first quarter. Outscored the Cougars 19-13 in the second quarter. They lead it by 19 at halftime, 38-19. I tell you what, you score 19 points a quarter, good things usually going to happen for a team. And Ryan Armstrong had a lot happening to him. He had 16 in the first half for Altamont. Clayton Wolf did not score and likely won't be back after injuring an ankle in the first half. We'll get you more information as soon as we have it. Evan Cornett has 6 points at halftime. Adam Mayhouse has 2 points. Brandon Hosick hit a 3 for his 3 points. Sam Childerson played a lot, didn't score. Logan Dedman has 2 points. Eric Wolf played, has not scored. Mitchell Stevenson has 9 points for Altamont here at halftime. Supporters for the Indians, 19-19 for 38 here at the break. For South Central, Brett Harmeyer has 8 points, and that puts him exactly at 1,000 points for his career. Gervonta Hill held to 2 points in that first half. Trevor Markley had 2 points. John Arnold has 5 points. Caleb Harpster has 2 points. Logan Lutz and Ryan Massini both played. They did not score. Quarters for the Cougars of 6 and 13 for their 19 points. So at halftime, it's Altamont 38, South Central 19. Matt, stats, and more on the way in 90 seconds here on 97.9 XFM.
Nieberge Furniture, located at 500 West Fayette Avenue in Effingham. Locally owned and operated since 1978 and proud sponsors of the NTC Tournament.
Good luck to the coaches and players during the tourney. From Jeff Spear at RE/MAX Key Advantage. Outstanding agents, outstanding results. Jeff Spear at RE/MAX Key Advantage, 601 West Fayette in Effingham.
Thanks for watching the 81st Annual NTC Tournament exclusively on 97.9 XFM.
Come see all the redesigned Chevrolet and Toyota models at Dan Heck Chevrolet Toyota, located South Route 45 here in Effingham, or at danheck.com.
Culver's of Effingham supports all local athletes. Stop in uniform after the games at the NTC Tournament for a free One Scoop Sundae.
Good luck to area teams at the National Trail Conference Tournament this week. From your F&N Napa Auto Parts store, use that Napa know-how for money-saving deals.
Bank anywhere, anytime with Go Mobile from Washington Savings Bank in Effingham. Good luck to all the teams at the National Trail Conference Tournament.
It's NTC Tourney Week, and Tingley Insurance in downtown Effingham wishes players fast breaks, jump shots, and lots of rebounds. Tingley Insurance, a proud supporter of high school basketball.
The area's #1 website for local news, sports, weather, and more, 979xfm.com.
Back at Altamont, while we've got a quick break, I can't not have my news guys hat on. There was an incident here at Altamont just before the games started tonight. There was an incident in East Meadow Subdivision, which is north of the high school here. And in that incident, there was a gentleman who they were concerned had some issues and concerned that potential suicide incident. So both the Effingham County Sheriff's Department and the Altamont City Police Department handled the matter. Thankfully, it was ended peacefully. Nobody injured, nothing amiss, and the man was taken for some treatment, some counseling. So there were a lot of squads here. I'm sure a lot of people in Altamont saw it. That's what happened, and thankfully it came to a good end. So that said, let's get back to basketball here. And Matt, stats at the half on this one.
All righty, great. Let's take a look at the numbers, and they are impressive for the Indians, to say the least. 13 of 21 from the field in the first half for 62%. They are 4 of 8 shooting from three-point range at 50% and 8 for 8 at the free throw line, 100% at the line tonight. South Central's shooting's not bad, 8 of 19 from the floor. That's 42%, and they're 2 of 5 at the free throw line, just 40% there. They're also 1 of 3 from the three-point arc at 33%. Rebound totals almost even. South Central with 8, Altamont with 7. Biggest difference in the ball game, though, is the turnovers. South Central with 14, 7 in each quarter, compared to Altamont's 5 here at halftime. Individually, starting with Ryan Armstrong, and why not? He was 5 of his first 8 from the floor, wound up going 6 of 11 overall at halftime, 2 for 2 at the free throw line, 16 points and 2 rebounds, and he's got a few steals in there as well. Evan Cornett, 3 for 4 from the field. He has 6 points. Adam Mayhouse is 1 for 2 with 2 points. Brandon Hosick is 1 for 1 with 3 points and a rebound. Sam Childerson has a board for Altamont. Logan Dedman's 0 for 2 from the field, but 2 for 2 at the line. He has 2 points and a rebound. And Mitchell Stevenson, 2 for 2 from the field, 4 for 4 at the free throw line, hit a 2 and a 3 and 4 free throws for his 9 points, and he's also grabbed 2 rebounds for Altamont. For South Central, Brett Harmeyer is 3 of 8 shooting from the field. He's 1 for 3 at the free throw line with 8 points and 3 rebounds. Dre Hill is 1 for 2 with 2 points and 3 boards. Trevor Markley is 1 for 5. He has 2 points at halftime. John Arnold's 2 for 3 from the field, 1 of 2 at the line, 5 points and a board. And Caleb Harpster's 1 for 1 with 2 points and a rebound. Foul situations look like this for South Central. John Arnold and Dre Hill each have 3 fouls apiece. Brett Harmeyer with 2. For Altamont, Evan Cornett has 3 fouls. Adam Mayhouse with 2, and nobody else with more than 1 for the Indians. I want to mention that Adam Mayhouse's grandma is not at the ball game as she usually is, and we hope that she gets to feeling better soon, and I know she's out there listening, so get well soon, Eloise.
Thank you, Matt. At halftime, Altamont 38, South Central 19. First game final saw St. Elmo Brownstown post the win over Neoga 51-32. Tomorrow night at 6:15, another consolation bracket semifinal game. Beecher City, Cowden Herrick, and Windsor's 2 Straws. That'll be followed by the championship semifinal game between St. Anthony and Dietrich, and I think everybody's looking forward to that one. So good pair of games for you tomorrow night. Be on the air just after 6 here on 97.9 XFM and all the various other social media platforms. Wayne doing a great job of sending pretty pictures. Thanks to everybody for the kind comments. Back with the second half in a minute on 97.9 XFM.
Got a pickup truck?
Bank anywhere, anytime with Go Mobile from Washington Savings Bank in Effingham. Good luck to all the teams at the National Trail Conference Tournament.
It's NTC Tourney Week, and Tingley Insurance in downtown Effingham wishes players fast breaks, jump shots, and lots of rebounds. Tingley Insurance, a proud supporter of high school basketball.
The area's #1 website for local news, sports, weather, and more, 97.9.
Sarbush Lincoln is providing greater access.
Altamont Community High School ready for the nightcap of our doubleheader. I'll ask the nightcap of our doubleheader. That's how that would work, yeah. Altamont's doubled the score on South Central, so the Cougars need to score a whole bunch of points in a hurry and find out a way to slow down Altamont.
Well, it's been a good night for Altamont thus far as well with the 7th grade boys regional championship. They upset Nokomis 37-36 tonight.
Well, there you go. We've had a few area 7th grade regional winners, so Altamont added to the list. Brian can check all the scores. No, T-Town was playing for regional championship tonight, too. St. Anthony already got one, so good news for Effingham County. Driving down the lane, Hosick for Altamont. Shot out of bounds, but last touch by South Central. It'll stay with the Indians here. Ryan Armstrong had 15 Tuesday night. 16 at halftime in this one. Ball's kicked now, so he'll try to inbound it again.
Quick hands by the cheerleaders down there to keep it away from them.
Tribal Council getting all pumped about this one tonight. Cornett off the inbound, double team, no room to shoot, so back over on the side to Stevenson, who started the second half. Out top here to Mayhouse. Left side, Hosick. Nice catch by Cornett, working against the double team. Leans in on Arnold, can't get in. Finally tried to get it to a cutter, and instead it's stolen by Hill. So the Cougars come away with it. Dre Hill across the half line, working it out top to Arnold. To Harpster. Harpster, there's a cutter. Harmeyer sticks it up and in. Good feed. Harmeyer has 1,002 points now. And 10 tonight, and it's 38-21. In the lane, Cornett got away. Shot won't go, but he did draw the foul. Evan will go to the line, shoot a pair here.
Arnold looks disappointed, but I'm not sure the foul's on him. There was a couple other Cougars in the vicinity. We'll wait and see. It is Harpster. He has his second personal, and that'll be South Central's first as a team.
Altamont looking for their 18th win of the season tonight. Cornett missed the first one. Going to try one more here. Here's a change. Ryan Matheny's back for South Central. Arnold gets a breather. 38-21 Altamont. A minute into the third quarter. Cornett's second one, no good. Rebound, Harmeyer for South Central. Count there. Where'd I get that?
Well, they'll be involved tomorrow evening.
Looking forward to tomorrow night already. Harmeyer on the side to Harpster. Out of Hill, trying to back in. Puts it up, no good. Rebound, Mayhouse. Good defense by Ryan. Gets the rebound, kicks it down court to Hosick. Now to Armstrong. In the lane. Cornett, shot, good. He drew the foul. Evan Cornett kept the ball up like a big guy's supposed to do. Got the shot to go and drew the foul.
Well, after Arnold went to the bench, it looked like nobody from South Central really wanted to guard Cornett inside. The big, strong man just took it to the basket as he was fouled. He got the shot to go. He was fouled by Ryan Matheny. That's his first. Cornett with the and one. It's good. Evan with 9. Didn't score in the Tuesday game. Has 9 already tonight. And it's 41-21. There's a 20-point lead. New biggest lead of the night for Altamont. Harmeyer across midcourt. Setting up traffic. Telling, go over here. You come here. Harpster with a nice catch. To Hill. Gets it back out top. Putting it up for 3 is Markley. No good. And then bodies litter the lane and a foul on somebody. Javante Hill got a hold of Mayhouse's arm, and they kind of went tumbling to the ground, and that's a big foul because that's Dre Hill's 4th personal. He's going to check out now. They bring Lutz back in for him. So they lose a lot as far as potential scoring, although all the Lutz family don't get upset with me. It's just that Hill's a good scorer. Boy, this is about as small as we've seen South Central go with Hill and Arnold both on the bench. 41-21 Altamont. They have the ball. Hosick right side with it. Lobs it into Cornett. Puts it up. Strong. Rebound. Nobody yet. Finally grabbed out of there by Harpster for South Central. Off to Lutz. Down to Harmeyer. Gets it across midcourt. Still on the dribble. Brings it back out top. Just in the big Indian logo. Now lost the handle. Gets it back. Off to Markley, driving to the hole, lost the handle on it. It ends up off him out of bounds, and South Central turns it over. That's their first turnover this quarter. So they sit down Matheny, and they bring back Arnold for South Central. So Arnold trying to clog up the middle there a little against Mr. Cornett. The Indians with the ball in a 20-point lead. Stevenson, Mayhouse, Hosick with the ball. Spin move in the lane. Shot for 2. Short. Rebound. Nobody. Out of bounds off who? They're all checking. It'll go to South Central. Yeah, they were seeing if there was a touch on that shot attempt and if that's why Hosick left it short, but the officials said no on the outside. So just a missed shot and out of bounds.
Brett Harmeyer across midcourt for South Central. Working down the lane, kicks it on the side, shot for three. Markley, no good. Rebound Stevenson had it, and it went off his foot out of bounds. Wow. He was trying to drive, and a guy flashed in front of him. He lost the handle on it, off his foot, and South Central gets it back. Markley will inbound. The bounce pass from the official. Nice catch, and then the inbound pass. Harmeyer has it. Brett working it out front. He and Armstrong going against each other. That's a fun matchup. There's a pass to the middle to nobody. Stolen by Hosick for Altamont. He's going coast to coast. Puts it up for two, and he got it. Brandon Hosick has 5 points, and it's 43-21. Altamont playing a very good game tonight.
Turning a lot of defensive opportunities into offense, and that's a big part of their game.
Transition with a capital T, man. Markley on the baseline brings it back out top now to Lutz. South Central looking to get a stop or two, but first they need to score. Harmeyer, corner three is way long. Rebound Lutz, though. Maybe that was a pass. Lutz into the lane to Arnold, to Harmeyer. Boy, Lutz giving the ball to Arnold. That's a lot of difference.
Yeah.
Arnold back down low. Out top, Markley, three, got it. Trevor Markley hits a three. He has 5, and it's 43-24.
I liked it when Lutz came in the ball game for Arnold earlier.
Yes.
Lost about a foot.
Giving away a couple of inches there, no doubt. Armstrong going baseline for Altamont. Now peels it back out to Hosick. Altamont can afford to be a little selective up by 19 points here. We're halfway through the third quarter. Cornett on the give and go. Put up and good by Armstrong.
Actually, that's Hosick.
Oh, it was Hosick. Thank you. He has 7.
He was strong enough to get that to go, even though there was some contact in there.
7 for Brandon Hosick, 45-24. Pass down in the corner to Lutz here for South Central. Bounce pass, Markley, squirms, shoots, shot, good. Wow. I wasn't sure he could get that up over Cornett. I think he went around him.
It was an adventure, but he was somehow got it to fall. That's the bottom line.
You betcha. Trevor Markley was 7, and it's 45-26. Both these teams will play Saturday, either for third place or for the title. Runner down the lane, no good by Mayhouse. Lutz clears it out here for South Central. Tries to set up the offense. He and Markley in the same place. That usually doesn't work, and it didn't this time. Stevenson the steal, and he lays it up and in. Mitchell Stevenson in double figures with 11 for Altamont. It's 47-26.
Well, that sophomore's having an NTC coming out party here.
27 between he and Armstrong. Harmeyer going to the hole, lays it up and in. Now we're getting kind of more like 1-1 here. Harmeyer with a dozen on the other end. Mayhouse is shot short, but that's because he got fouled at least once.
Yeah, got undercut a little bit, but managed to land on his feet anyway. And so he'll go to the line for a couple on the foul. I believe they say 2-4. That's Caleb Harpster's third personal. That'll be the team's fourth this half.
Adam Mayhouse with just 2 points, but there aren't enough to go around.
Yeah, I mean,
his foul shot, good. He'll score when he gets the chance here.
Well, and Adam, all he'll tell you is if we win the ball game, we'll go to the championship, and I'm just fine.
That's the right attitude. Hosick sits down. Stevenson sits down. Cornett sits down for Altamont. Childerson's back. Deadman's back. And Eric Wolf's back. Meanwhile, South Central sits down Markley, and they bring into the fray Ian Fox, the 5'9 sophomore. Second foul shot, Mayhouse good. I got a lot to keep track of. Mayhouse with 4, and another change as Mayhouse sits down after making those foul shots, and there's Wyatt Stone checking in for Altamont, the 6'3 junior. I think now you know everyone who's come in or out.
There's been a lot of traffic here.
Harmeyer on offense for South Central. Wanted to go baseline, but Deadman cut him off. Back out top to Matheny. Now to Harmeyer. Harmeyer stops, head of the key, side to Lutz. He comes baseline, no room there. So back out to Harmeyer. It's on the dribble. Baseline, Lutz, nice catch. And he brings it back out top. Altamont's up 21. Matheny looking. Side, going baseline. Fox for South Central. Back out to Matheny. Now to Arnold. Cross court, Harmeyer loads it up for 3. Got it. Boy, nice spin on that ball. Harmeyer with 15. He didn't have that nearly that many just a short while ago, and now he's starting to rack them up. 49-31.
All of his points in the middle two quarters.
Dedman with it out top for Altamont. Bounce pass, Armstrong. Down low to Childerson. Sam looking, into the lane. Now what? Gets it out top. Got the ball on the bounce pass to Dedman. Back to Childerson. Inside, puts it up, and off no good. And Arnold the rebound for South Central. Had the right idea. Shot just wouldn't drop. Lutz down the lane. Spin move. Now he's double teamed and finally got it to Matheny, and his shot's good. Well, that worked out. Ryan Matheny's first basket, and it's 49-33. Now it's a 16-point game.
Boy, Logan Lutz does make things happen even though he doesn't score. He sets up his teammates well, and he takes care of the ball.
Whole lots of people that start for Altamont are starting to come back to the scores table. Armstrong going baseline, got it stripped. Harmeyer grabs it out of the air. They can make it a 13-point game this trip, and a foul on the way. I don't know whether it was Childerson or Dedman.
Either way, it'll be the Altamont Indians' first foul this quarter. And his hand was behind the backboard.
Logan Dedman.
So I could not see it.
And Dedman will sit down, and so will Eric Higgs, and so will Childerson, and so will Wyatt Stone, who just got here. And so Altamont back to the starters, except for Clayton Wolf, of course, who got injured early in the game. So Stevenson stays in, but he's done a great job. 49-33. Altamont sees that lead down to 16 now. They were up 22. Under a minute to go in the third, though. Lutz along two. No good. Rebound Lutz.
Yeah.
Wow. Says, I'll have that. The little freshman gets the rebound. They go into the lane, and Fox couldn't hit the break in time, and Cougars turn it over. They're third in the period. Tomorrow night at 6:15, BCCH and WSS. You'll figure that out. And then St. Anthony and Dietrich. Indians by 16 with the ball. Half a minute to go in the third quarter. Mayhouse with it out top to Hosick. So if they stand still, looks a lot like Armstrong.
Yeah.
That's why I gave that basket to the wrong kid a while ago. Armstrong has it out top. Down to 14 seconds.
They usually don't stand still for long, though.
Not this Altamont team. Holy cow. Down the lane, Armstrong pulls it up for two. Got it. Armstrong with 18. That's a good way to close out a quarter. And Jeff Fricknick had a shot at the ball as they threw it the length of the floor. He got cut off, though.
Yep.
Nice catch down there in the crowd to end the quarter. It's an 18-point Altamont lead as we head to the fourth quarter at the NTC tournament. Altamont 51, South Central 33 here on 97.9 XM.
Good luck to area teams at the National Trail Conference Tournament this week. From your F&N Napa Auto Parts store, use that Napa know-how for money-saving deals.
Bank anywhere, anytime with Go Mobile from Washington Savings Bank in Effingham. Good luck to all the teams at the National Trail Conference Tournament. Stevens Industries, in business for 55 years and an employee-owned company, has produced a winning team and has job opportunities available from production office to the manufacturing floor.
Wet Pools and Spas in Effingham, where you'll find top-of-the-line spas and above and in-ground pools at affordable prices.
Brown's Drugstore at 115 West Jefferson Avenue in Effingham is more than just a pharmacy. Check out their Hallmark cards, gifts, healthcare needs, and more.
Stevens Industries, in business for 55 years and an employee-owned company, has produced a winning team and has job opportunities available from production office to the manufacturing floor.
Still tending to Clayton Wolf's right ankle down there on the Altamont bench. Trying something new. They've got the sock off, going to tape it. So hope for the best as we get news regarding his ankle injury. South Central gets it to start the fourth quarter. Markley back in. Nice job taking it to the hole. A lot of contact. He still got the shot up and in. Trevor Markley with 9. That makes it 51-35. So Cougars back within 16 to start the fourth quarter. They were down 22 once upon a time. Hosick out to Stevenson for 3, and of course he made it. Mitchell Stevenson with 14. Altamont's back up 19, 54-35.
He hasn't missed a shot yet tonight. And he's been shooting them from everywhere. Inside, outside, free throws, whatever.
Give me the rock. Markley, nice pass into Arnold. Shot good, and he drew the foul. Good play. Kept the ball up high, and good things happened.
Well, that was the old key to making the shot, that's for sure. He just never brought it down. And Arnold, big and strong, and the foul is on Mayhouse. That is Adams' third and the team's second this half.
7 for John Arnold. Cornett sits down now for Altamont, and Childerson's back. John Nieberg, he's been able to utilize lots of kids. Of course, Matt mentioned the illness that's gone through the team. So that's been good that he's had flexibility. Arnold's foul shot, no good. Hosick, the rebound for Altamont. Armstrong got a bit of a breather. He's going to come back in next dead ball. Out top, Mayhouse. Childerson going to the hole, puts it up, no good, but he got fouled on the way up. I think Arnold got him.
Arnold's upset. He picked up his 4th foul on that play, but he's played for a long time with 3 personals. And Childerson just got enough of the inside step that he got him on his hip, and Arnold went for the block shot and picked up his 4th personal. Well, they show 3 on the board, so now they've got it 4.
Childerson's foul shot, no good. Sam still yet to score tonight. Armstrong's back. He'll replace Stevenson.
South Central was 6 of 9 from the field in the third quarter. Did not attempt a free throw and was 2 of 3 from three-point range. Altamont 5 of 10, though, in the third. 3 of 5 at the line. They did not attempt a 3. South Central out-rebounded Altamont 7-3. Turnovers, South Central 3, Altamont 2.
Sam Childerson has now scored. He made the second foul shot. Makes it 55-37. 6:50 to go in this one. Harmeyer, nice move to the hole. Lays it up and in. Harmeyer was 17 now. He is at 1,009 points for his career.
Boy, that was an explosive move to the basket.
Get that one step, man, and see you. Mayhouse out top for Altamont. Picks up the dribble. Coming to the rescue is Armstrong. Now to Eric Wolf. Bounce pass. Childerson going to the hole. Gets it baseline. Eric Wolf for 2. Got it. Eric Wolf gets the bucket. His first points. Makes it 57-39. Lead back to 18. Harmeyer across midcourt. Armstrong picks him up. They've had fun tonight. Matheny down in the corner to Markley. Inside to Arnold. Going to work on Childerson. Shot short. Rebound Altamont. Grabbed out of there by Eric Wolf. Down to Hosick. Led him a little long. Hosick saves it in by what an effort. Wow. He cleared down the hall. Eric Wolf got the ball. What a save by Hosick. Armstrong at the lane. Tried to back in. Now back out to Mayhouse. To Hosick. Who's back inbound now. He ran clear down. I could see him going outside.
Good thing the door was open.
He was almost to the fairgrounds at one point, but finally got it stopped. Armstrong goes baseline. Turnaround shot, no good. Rebound Arnold. Tried to get it on the other side of the bucket away from the defense. Shot wouldn't go. Harmeyer throws it down underneath. Knocked loose by Hosick. Now Mayhouse. Now down court. Knocked away. Arnold saves the layup by Childerson. And it's out of bounds. And it'll go finally to South Central. No, finally go to Altamont, that is. Yeah, how many turnovers?
South Central's first. Is really all it amounted to.
Holy cow.
See, it's just that easy, right?
What a save. Hosick went a mile for that. Armstrong with the ball out top here for Altamont. To Childerson. Childerson the dribble and over to Mayhouse. And out top now to Eric Wolf. To Armstrong. To Wolf. Now they get the ball to Dedman. Logan on the dribble. Right side Eric Wolf. And they say Dedman might have picked up the pivot foot before he got the pass away. Turnover on the Indians. They're first. So thankfully, not a lot of turnovers here in the late going. Altamont by 18. They led it by 13 after a quarter, so you kind of knew how this one was going to go. Hill with the ball on the left side. Working against Mayhouse. Now to Markley. Baseline going to the side to Lutz. Out to Harmeyer, who they got covered up, so he couldn't get the shot away. Drives the other way. Puts it up. Got it. Nice shot by Brett Harmeyer. He has 19 now. Makes it 57-41.
South Central shooting extremely well in the second half, but they're just trying to dig out of such a deep hole.
Yep, got down by 22 at one point, and it's been 16 or 18 most of the rest of the half here. Childerson, Mayhouse. Childerson posts up, goes inside, can't shoot. To Eric Wolf, who's the only Wolf out there again. Clayton Wolf injured an ankle early in the ball game tonight for Altamont. They get it back to Childerson. Lost it off his foot. Goes to the floor to save it, though. Got it inside. Layup good by Logan Dedman. Nobody got over there on the baseline. Dedman says, well, I'll have that. He has 4, and it's 59-41.
Childerson never panicked. He just dove for it and then got it to a teammate. And when the busted play results, Dedman was able to take advantage.
Markley out top didn't pull the trigger on the 3. Now puts it on the floor to Hill. Hill working on Mayhouse. Comes to the baseline to the corner. Lutz for 3. Short. Rebound. Armstrong for Altamont. And he got it across midcourt and then put the Wagons in a circle. Still on the dribble. 3.5 to go in this one. Yeah, Altamont was up 19-6 after the first quarter, and it's pretty much just been status quo from that point. Altamont got a bigger lead, but they've been in the double digits almost throughout. Childerson, baseline, double team. Now what? There's the cutter. Armstrong sticks it up and in. Nice job. Armstrong has 20. Give Mr. Childerson the assist.
Yeah, he's picked up a couple of nice assists here.
61-41. That's a 20-point lead again for Altamont. And we're into 3 to play. Down the lane, Harmeyer kicks it to the corner to Markley for 3. Shot no good. Rebound off Altamont. It'll stay with the Cougars. And here comes a line change for Altamont. The fans will be all happy. At least they should be. Tribal Council's all pumped up. Stevenson comes back. Hosick comes back. Cornett comes back. They also have Jory Caravello in for the first time tonight, the 5'11 senior. And, did I mention, Cameron Jackman's in the game, the 6'3 senior. That's who's out there for Altamont now. Harmeyer off the inbound, shoots and hits for 3. Once he got the lid off, man, he's flying. 22 now for Harmeyer, and it's 61-44. Problem is he has half their points.
He's 6 for 7 from the field in the second half.
Everybody else has 22, though. Needing a little help. Jackman gets the ball to Hosick. Out top to Stevenson. Caravello with it. And now driving to the hole. Shot up, shot around, shot off. No good. How'd that go out by Jackman? Rebound South Central. Hill had it, and he got fouled at least once. Going to be out of bounds on the side here to the Cougars.
Yeah, Altamont's only picked up a few fouls this half. That foul on Caravello is his first. And it goes down as just the team's third.
And only 5 on South Central, so we may not have any foul shots. Harmeyer, side to Markley. Markley going baseline. Trying to get away. Out top to Hill. Bounce pass back to Markley in the corner. Markley working it out top. They're doubling him. He needs some help. Finds Hill. Trevante Hill going to the hole. Now goes on the side. Stevenson steps in front of the pass. There's the steal. Down court, Hosick lays it up and in and drew the foul. Could be a 3-point play. So give Stevenson the credit for getting it to Hosick, who laid it up and in, and then he drew the foul.
Taking advantage of South Central's second turnover this quarter. Hosick at the line after he was fouled by number 5. That is none other than Logan Lutz picking up his first foul.
Jesus Flores is not on my list, I don't think. Jesus Flores checks in for Altamont now. Jesus, heck of a soccer player, heck of a runner. Plays a little basketball, too, in the lineup here for Altamont. And South Central checks out with Markley, and also Brett Harmeyer sits down. He leaves tonight with 22 and got his 1,000th point for his career along the way. Meanwhile, Hosick's going to shoot this foul shot. Been waiting there a long time. He hits around and good. He says, no problem. He's in double figures with 10. He leaves now. Altamont's got Drake Williams in the game, the 5'9 junior. Lutz sits down for South Central. They have Coy Bloomberg in the game, the 5'10 sophomore. I think that's everybody I haven't mentioned. There's the ball knocked away, regained by South Central. Down to a minute and a half to go. Altamont by 20. Here's trying to get it to the baseline, but Altamont gets the steal. Boy, everybody on the team for Altamont can clog it up inside. They went inside, now have to kick it back out. Here's a shot for 2, no good, by Drake Williams, and then a battle for the rebound. We've got a jump called out of that. It'll stay with Altamont on the alternate possession.
Well, Stevenson came flying in there and ultimately got the jump ball, and it'll stay with the Indians.
So Stevenson, for that, gets to inbound it. And he gets it in safely to Williams, to Flores. And now they go left side with it to Mitchell Stevenson. Stevenson tops at the free throw line. Out to Flores. They get the ball to Williams. Baseline, Stevenson, he got held. And Coy Bloomberg picks up the foul for South Central.
That's his first and South Central's 7th as a team, so we will have a 1-and-1 in this ball game.
I think it's Bloomberg. Maybe it's Blomberg.
Blomberg.
There you go. Anyway, Stevenson got that one right. Going to the line. 57 seconds left. Stevenson's foul shot, no good. Missed the front end of the 1-and-1. Rebound, Cougars grabbed out of there by Brian Matheny. Down in the corner, try for three. In and out, no good by Fox. Rebound, Cougars, though, grabbed out of there by Matheny. By Harpster. And then we've got a scrum here as we've got a fisticuff. No fisticuffs. Just maybe some spirited kicking. Maybe not quite that bad. Anyway, that's why you heard the whistle so loud. Just about to get out of hand, and the officials got a lid on it. So we eventually had a held ball, and it's out of bounds for the Cougars on the baseline. Down to 42 seconds left. Fox gets it inbound to Harpster. Shot, no good, but he did draw the foul. Brian Matheny had that catch. He got fouled on the shot. He'll go to the line to shoot two here.
We'll see which Indian's guilty of the personal. It goes against number 32. That's Joey Caravello's second foul. Team's fourth.
Matheny's foul shot, good. Brian Matheny with 3 tonight. Makes it 64-45. Altamont going to go to 18-3, and they're in the championship game Saturday night at 7:30. South Central will play about 2:30 Saturday afternoon in the third place game. Foul shot good. Matheny with 4. I think I'm safe to say with an 18-point lead and 35 seconds left in the game that Altamont fans, we have ticket information for you for Saturday night's game. They get it inside, working hard. Turnaround shot for 2. Won't go for Jackman. Rebound, though, to Flores. Jesus clears it out top to Drake Williams. Back to Flores. Drives. Doesn't shoot. Down to 17 seconds. Gets it knocked away. Regained by Jackman. Out top now. Caravello to Flores. And they're just keeping it out of trouble now. Down to 5, down to 4. Bringing it out top. Drake Williams and holds the ball, and here's the buzzer. Altamont in the championship game of the 2016 National Trail Tournament at Altamont. Final score, Altamont 64, South Central 46. Again, the Indians will play at 7:30 Saturday night for the title. South Central will play at 2:30 Saturday afternoon for third place. We'll give you that ticket information, Indians fans, all the scoring, plus we'll recap all the stats, and we'll visit with the coaches. It's a busy post-game show on the way in 2 minutes here on 97.9 XFM.
Russ Broniker, Cadillac, Buick GMC, located on South Route 45 in Effingham. Proud supporters of local sports and this week's NTC tournament.
Job Match Personnel Services supports all the area sports and wishes them the best of luck.
Diedrich Bank would like to be the 6th man on your team at tournament time. They'll back you up with game-winning shots, and you'll be in the bonus time after time. Diedrich Bank. Live for today, bank for tomorrow.
Come see all the redesigned Chevrolet and Toyota models at Dan Heck Chevrolet Toyota, located South Route.
Nieberge Furniture, located at 500 West Fayette Avenue in Effingham. Locally owned and operated since 1978 and proud sponsors of the NTC.
Come see all the redesigned Chevrolet and Toyota models at Dan Heck Chevrolet Toyota, located South Route 45 here in Effingham, or at danheck.com.
Culver's of Effingham supports all local athletes. Stopping uniform. Bank anywhere, anytime with Go Mobile from Washington Savings Bank in Effingham. Good luck to all the teams at the National Trail Conference Tournament.
It's NTC Tourney Week, and Tingley Insurance in downtown Effingham wishes players fast breaks, jump shots, and lots of rebounds. Tingley Insurance, a proud supporter of high school basketball.
The area's #1 website for local news, sports, weather, and more, 979xfm.com.
This is the Farm Credit Illinois postgame show. Farm Credit Illinois, assisting farmers for over 90 years.
Back at Altamont Community High School, final score in Game 2 of our doubleheader. Altamont 64, South Central 46. In the earlier game, it was a win for St. Elmo Brownstown over Neoga, 51-32. So we're starting to get things set up for Saturday. That means this game tonight, Altamont will be in the championship at 7:30. South Central will be in the third place game at 2:30. St. Elmo Brownstown will be in the consolation championship at 1 o'clock, and Neoga will be in the seventh place game at 11:30. So one side of the bracket's all filled out. We'll take care of the other half tomorrow. Here's that ticket information, Indians fans, so I don't forget. We'll have it on the air about 80 times tomorrow, too. Tickets for Altamont fans for the championship game on Saturday will go on sale tomorrow, mañana, Friday, at 9 a.m. in the high school office. Say hi to Deb for me. All tickets will be $4. Students will purchase their tickets on their lunch periods. So there you go, $4. Get them tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m. in the Altamont High School office. Altamont got out of the gate in great shape, and that really put the pressure on South Central. They were back on their heels from the start of this one. Altamont led at 19-6 after the first quarter, particularly on the back of Ryan Armstrong. He had 13 in the first quarter for the Indians tonight. They outscored South Central 19-13 in the second quarter and doubled the score at halftime, 38-19. Second half was really even, Stephen. Actually, when you pare it down, South Central actually outscored Altamont in the second half. They outscored them 14-13 in the third quarter, and they were tied 13 each in the fourth quarter. So South Central actually outscored Altamont by a point, but way too little too late because they already had the big lead, and Altamont wins it by 18, 64-46. Here's the scoring tonight. For South Central, Brett Harmeyer had 22 points. He needed 8 for 1,000, and he got that in style. Gervonta Hill held to 2 points tonight. Trevor Markley had 9. John Arnold had 7. Caleb Harpster had 2. Logan Lutz played a lot, didn't score. Ryan Matheny had 4. Ian Fox and Coy Blumberg, and both played but didn't score. 6, 13, 14, and 13 for South Central's 46 points. They're now 8 and 13, and again, they'll play 2:30 Saturday for third place. For Altamont, what a night for Ryan Armstrong. Had 13 in the first quarter, finished with 20, but could have had a whole lot more. Just was the nature of the game that everybody was contributing. 20 points for Ryan Armstrong tonight. Clayton Wolf did not score. Clayton got hurt very early in the ball game. Ended up twisting his right ankle. We don't know the extent of the injury. Maybe John Nieberg, you'll know some more when we talk with him here in a second. Evan Cornett had 9 points. Adam Mayhouse 4. Brandon Hosick had 10 points. Sam Childerson 1 point. Logan Dedman had 4 points. Eric Wolf 2 points. And Mitchell Stevenson, great night for the sophomore. Mitchell Stevenson with 14 tonight. Cameron Jackman, Joey Caravello, Wyatt Stone, Drake Williams, and Jesus Flores got in there for Altamont. 19-19, 13-13 Altamont's quarters for their 64 points. Indians a winner 64-46, and John Nieberg, he joins us on the postgame show. And first, congratulations on the win.
Thank you, Mr. Tapp.
You know, this was a fun ball game. Every coach wants to get out of the gate well. You got out of the gate well.
Yeah, we concentrated on one thing tonight defensively, on the just being in the right spot. We're trying to be fundamentally sound, sprinting to help side, sprinting to the ball, and I think our boys really bared down on that, and that led to us concentrating a little more on the half-court side, offensively.
You did a good job as far as getting a lot of stops, and Ryan Armstrong got out of the gate in great shape. Had 13 in the first quarter. Boy, I'd say that's a lift.
Yeah, he's been sick all week.
Yeah.
He missed yesterday, came and watched practice, and then kind of moped through today to school. So, him come out and he hit the 2 threes to get us going, being down 4-0. That kind of got us, okay, we're back into this. So, that was a big lift.
So he did well. Mitchell Stevenson was a huge lift off the bench tonight. Got you 14 points and plays with such poise for a sophomore.
Yeah, he's earned some minutes. I can say that. He's a very athletic kid. He loves the game of basketball. It's just the experience he's getting in practice. Coach Locke's been on me and says, he's got to get more time. And Mitchell, you know, he can shoot the rock. He can get up. He can get up and get rebounds. He can get after you defensively. You know, it's going to be nice to have him for a couple more years. So, you know, this was kind of his coming out party. Hopefully we can, you know, depending on what we got with Mr. Wolf, you know, his minutes might increase big time.
Let's talk a little about Clayton, because I know you haven't had a chance to have him examined, but the good work from the Benuti gang. I know they've taken a good look at him. What do they think?
Well, he rolled his ankle. He rolled it to the outside, which isn't a good thing. I've always, my experience with outside twists are worse than the inside. She said something to ligament. We're going to hope for the best and pray for it's not the worst. But he's tomorrow going to go get some X-rays and see what happens. So, you know, we're thoughts are with Clayton right now. So, you know, there's not a kid that wants to be out there Saturday night for his senior year. So, you know, he might do anything he can to be out there. So, well, hopefully the best.
There you go. Heck of an athlete. Evan Cornett got you 9 points. He didn't score Tuesday, and I think that frustrated him. But he kept at it tonight, and he's so big and so strong. I mean, when you can get some points, that's great. And then the defense, because he's probably taken 9 points away from somebody.
Yeah, tonight he came out a little bit fire, and I told him on the bench, I said, you know, it's a lot easier to do that against 6'1" kids rather than the 6'5" Mr. Arnold. But he came out, and I think he was determined to prove something. You know, when we get contributions from Evan, that just adds another dimension to our offense with Ryan, Clayton, and Adam. So if we can get that inside game, you know, he made some nice post moves, made some even rebounded well tonight for us. So any contribution from Evan is definitely a godsend. It's a help, and we know it's there from him.
You talked about Adam Mayhouse. Adam had 4 points tonight. There just were only so many points to go around tonight.
Sure.
It was just one of those nights, but he still did everything else he does.
Yeah, Adam knows. Adam's not selfish. Adam's not, you know, I got to get my own. He's a kid that if we're going to win, that's what he's going to do. So, you know, he doesn't necessarily have to score. I don't even know if he shot 1 or 2 threes. So Adam's always going to play hard. And then there's another kid, another senior that says, you know, this is my last year, and they get that feeling right now, right, that this is my last year. I'm not going to see this again. So we got to do what we got to do to win. And Adam, you know, I'll never question his heart.
Yep. There's so many kids to talk about, and you love that in a performance. So many kids did so well. Brandon Hosick got you 10 points tonight, and another kid who's not that big, but he plays big.
Yeah, he took the ball to the hole tonight. I think, again, Tuesday night he didn't score a point. So, you know, he's another guy that when he's shooting the ball and he's taking the ball to the hole, that adds another dimension. You know, most people know the three that's coming in to play in Altamont, and if we get Evan and Brandon to score 19 points combined, we're a tough team to beat.
Yep.
It's just an extra dimension. So Brandon knows what he can do offensively and defensively, and, you know, another senior. So I like to have those at the end of the game.
And you've got Sam Childerson, who comes in when Cornett needs a blow. And you've got Eric Wolf, who comes in when one of your guards needs some help. And Logan Dedman got you 4 points. And I'm telling you, it's a great blessing to have so many options.
Yeah, we, you know, plug one in, plug one out. If you're tired, come on in. Eric and Logan know their roles very well. They're not over there pouting or, you know, about playing time. They know what they can do. They work hard. You know, I don't complain in practice. They're two of the most kids that get after it the most. So they're there to win. And you know, Sam comes in. He did a really good job of facilitating from the post tonight, I think. You know, he'd face up, he'd make a dribble move, and, you know, kick it out or make a backdoor cut. So Sam progressed a little bit tonight again. So.
And you love it when you get a lead and you can play everybody. And Joy got in, and Cameron got in, Wyatt Stone, you know, Drake Williams, and
kids
even
put in their time.
Everybody was in there.
That's, you know, that's a lot. To be honest, that's a lot of the goals of the seniors and the starters is to get those kids in. They can do that. They you know, they root for them because they're going against them all the time in practice. You know, they're the team, the opposite team's defense. You know, they're running their offense. So, you know, it's good to see when they get some activity.
Yep. 18-3 now.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
We'll take one more Saturday. I'm being greedy.
I'll tell you what, though. You earn the 1 seat. You're in your home gym. Championship game. I think it's going to be a special night Saturday.
Yeah, that's what we fought for. And we know coming in, South Central was going to be a tough matchup. We thought they might throw some different stuff at us. They still might be saving stuff for regional time. I don't know, because I know Coach Simmons has got some tricks up his sleeves. He got me last year. But, Sandy Diedrich tomorrow night is going to be a great game. Atmosphere is going to be awesome. We'll take who we get. Either or, it's going to be tough. Coach Stacer, Coach Rinker do a darn good job.
I've talked to those guys. I've talked to Cody McCullum. I've talked to Cody Rinker. Now here's John Niebuhr. All these guys that I talked about them when they were playing.
Oh, yeah.
And now I'm talking about you while you're coaching.
Yeah.
That's probably a sign of something. But I'm not going to go there.
Well, my hairline's showing it too. So
it's just good that you guys are still around. And
yeah. Yep. Well, we talked about it before. This is the love of the game, man. I get more nervous coaching than I did playing because it's just the love of the game. I mean, we want other kids to experience what I did back in the late 90s, a long time ago.
Doesn't sound very long.
Feels like it. My body feels like it.
There you go. John, always a pleasure. Thank you for the visit.
Sapp.
We'll look forward to seeing you Saturday night.
You too.
You bet. Altamont coach John Niebuhr, thank you for the postgame visit. Rick Simmons is here to visit, too, from South Central. And we'll get Rick saddled up here. We billed this as the Battle of the Altamont or Farina Blacktop, and it turned out to be a battle. Tough when you get down early. Tough to come back.
And you're playing a team that obviously has a lot of depth, and they can get them down the floor. And so you don't want to get in a situation where you're running up and down the floor. Mm-hmm. And we let it slip away from us. We put up a couple shots, made some turnovers that really were unnecessary. It's a difference between a forced turnover and unforced, and most of those were unforced. We made a bad pass or we didn't meet a pass. But you got to give Altamont credit. I mean, they're an awfully good ball club, and John's got them working hard, and you got to respect that.
Well, without a doubt. Once you got your footing, once you got a couple of shots down, it was okay, but they'd scored so much at the get-go that was kind of tough to come back. Played them even second half.
Well, and that's what I talked about. I said, my goal was let's win the second half. I mean, the game at that point was not where we couldn't have come back, but it was going to take a tremendous effort, and I really didn't think against a quality team like this we were going to be able to come back. But our goal was, let's see if we can win the second half, and that's kind of the mantra we use, because you have to have something to work on. You can't just stop the game, say stop and go home. So that's what we worked on, and like I said, I think the kids went a lot harder that second half. The first half, we just got behind, and once we got behind, our heads came down, and that's high school basketball. I mean, it's just part of it. You're trying to develop young men, not only in the basketball skills, but in life, and understanding that there are bad times. You got to fight your way through it. So maybe it'll be a good learning experience for down the road.
There you go. Brett Harmeyer had a slow start, and I know he was getting a little frustrated. Once he got the first couple of shots down, he was okay, though.
Yeah, and I had told him earlier, I said, he knew that he was close to 1,000 and so forth, and all year long, I'd never really said anything to him.
Yeah.
In fact, if I thought he was forcing up a shot or two because he was worried about it, I would take him aside and say, let's concentrate on this. That will take care of itself. But he had some good looks, awfully good looks that normally he makes, and they just didn't go down. That's part of it. I mean, and then once he figured out how to get there, how to finish, he did it repeatedly, and of course shot some threes and so forth. And ended up having a pretty good ball game.
Yep. Finished with 22 tonight. Nobody else in double figures. Trevor Markley worked hard, though, had 9 points for you tonight, and I can see that there's big upside to him.
There is. I had said earlier in the year, and I do believe this. We don't have the depth, obviously, we had last year, but as far as 3 or 4 of our kids, we are every bit, probably more so athletic than what we were last year. But we just haven't had kids really step up at those times and develop as quickly as what we would hope they did. Now, Trevor has really come on of late. He's led us in scoring a few games and really added some offensive punch that we really need. You can't rely on, like Dre tonight was in foul trouble, pretty much saddled on the bench. he can't do anything from the bench, so somebody else has to step up, and he's done a good job. Arnold has done a good job in the post of, he's not the strongest kid in the world, but he works hard. He tries to finish. Sometimes he gets it done, sometimes he doesn't. Same way with Trevor. He's going to give you everything that he has, and if it works out, good, and if it doesn't, well, all you can do is say, well, he tried.
Yeah, I tell you, Drahill's fun to watch. I know he got 2 points, foul problems tonight for sure, but he's a fun ball player to watch.
He gives it everything he has.
Yeah.
I mean, he wants it so bad. We just talked a little bit after the game about, what's it going to take to get us over the hump? What's it going to take us to get it back to 500 and get that tradition going and whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's players like Dre. It's players that are just going to say, I'm not worried about the past. Let's take care of the present. I'm going to play hard. You're going to know that when you play me, that you're getting everything I have to offer. And unfortunately tonight he got himself in some foul trouble, but he's fun to watch because he doesn't quit, he doesn't give in, he doesn't back down. He just gives you everything he has.
Yeah. Tell me about Little Lutz. I tell you, he's fun to watch. He's no bigger in a minute.
He's he'll say he's 5'4". I think he might be 5'3 and a quarter, but he's going to be great. I just have no doubt that if he grows at all, I have never seen a freshman with the ball handling skills he has. And you didn't really get to see it tonight, but some of the passing skills that he has, it's just phenomenal for a young man just straight out of junior high. It's like nothing I've ever seen. And start of the year, I was pretty hesitant because I'm thinking, man, he's 5'3", okay, he's 5'4", but that's pretty tiny, to play at the varsity level. And he has surprised us all. He gets out there, he gives you everything he has. He tries. Sometimes he gets out-muscled. Sometimes guys just taller than he is, but he's going to battle, and that's what you want. And he's just like a little jitterbug, just out there. You see him on the pond, just all over the place. Well, that's exactly like where he is. And then when he gets going, and he's very enjoyable to watch and very enjoyable to have on the team.
It's not an exact comparison, but I remember when Harmeyer was just a pup.
Yep.
And he was a little guy working out front and throwing up threes.
Yep.
And look at how he's developed, and, the hope is Lutz in a couple of years going to be there.
Right. And it's not his fault that he's as tall as he is right now. Right. And we expect that he will grow, and we know that as far as his work ethic, he works, his ball handling skills, like I said, are just unbelievable. But it's because he's worked on it. He's made himself a tremendous passer, tremendous dribbler. Now we're just going to work on getting his timing to match everybody else on the floor, because he can go at a faster pace sometimes than some of my older kids.
Yeah.
And he doesn't slow down. There is no stop button on him. So sometimes he gets to going so fast that our kids aren't ready for his passes. But I think eventually it'll all work out, and he has a bright future.
Caleb Harpster doesn't score many points, but he's a heck of a defender. That's why he gets in the action.
That's why he's there. I mean, we need somebody who will play hard, tough defense, get us some boards, just be tremendously active on the defensive end. If he can just make passes, keep us in an offense, make the layups when he gets, they become available, an open shot when it's available. That's really all we're asking. We're not looking for anything special out of him. We just want him to be a complementary player, and that's. He's very capable of doing that. And like you say, defensively, he can make you wish that somebody else was on you. That's all.
So you're in the third place game. Nobody has a goal at the start of a tournament. I want to play in the third place game, but it's what you do with it.
Yep.
And they got a chance to play on Saturday, and we'll see what happens.
Well, as I told him, I said, I realized that our goal would have been to be playing Saturday night.
Sure.
But, we are in the winner's bracket.
Yeah.
And then I said that means that as such, we're going to continue to play like we got something to play for. And I don't care whether we're playing for third place or eighth place or whatever. We're playing basketball.
You bet.
And we're going to go out there and we're going to play as hard as we can. We're going to try to figure it out. We'll wait and see, who we have to play and make adjustments as necessary. As I told them, I said, sometimes you guys get to thinking too much. None of you guys are rocket scientists. I said, so stop thinking and playing. Leave the thinking to us on the bench. And between the two of us, our combination of thinking and their combination of playing, hopefully we can get something accomplished.
You bet. Saturday at the NTC tournament's always a great day.
it's a sensational. I mean, I don't care what time of day you're here. I don't care whether you're playing that first game or the last game. Tremendous crowds. And even if it's not a huge crowd, they make themselves known. It's just a great atmosphere to be in.
Absolutely. Rick, I need to talk to you about one more thing because we haven't had a chance to talk about it. I know you worked with Gary Shirley. You were the AD when he was a coach and helped as his assistant. And I'm sure that had to be a special night when the dedication ceremony was held a couple of weeks ago, naming it Gary Shirley Gym.
Yes. I can't say much because I'll probably get choked up a little bit here, but for all the things that Gary did, and not just as a coach. I mean, he gets all the credit for the coaching because that's what most people in the area know. But as a person, as a teacher, what a phenomenal teacher. You can say, well, he taught kids well on the basketball court. You should have seen him in the classroom. He just has a knack of being able to take a kid who other people might have given up on and stretching them to their limits and getting everything they can, and later on in life when they go out and they become a productive citizen, he could sit back and take tremendous pride in that. And just a tremendous person. The things that he would do for the community, big member in the church and so forth, and I could speak forever about him. And like I said, I don't want to go too long because I will choke up. It was a tremendous situation for all of us just to honor him. In front of his family and friends and all the former students and former players and whatever. It was a sad time, but at the same time, when you sit back and you look at Gary's life, you're going to find something to smile about because he always gave you some reason. At the end of the day, when it was all done, he gave you something to smile about.
There you go. Rick, thanks for the visit. We'll look forward to seeing you Saturday.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. South Central coach Rick Siemens. Appreciate him coming up here on the post-game show. Again, the final score, Altamont a winner by a count of 64-46. Matt Stats on the way in a minute here on 97.9 XFM.
Leisure Times at Keller and Jefferson at Effingham has been serving Effingham and the surrounding community for over 30 years. Leisure Times is a great place to shop. You'll find a great selection of old house and billiard tables in stock. Made in the USA, you'll find the right table at the right price. Check out their tornado foosball tables, air hockey and ping pong tables, and lots of great accessories. Check out their selection of fireplace extraordinaire wood stoves, gas and electric fireplaces, inserts, and more at Leisure Times, Keller and Jefferson at
Team helps you regain flexibility and strength so you can get back to enjoying life. Sarah Bush Lincoln, trusted, compassionate care. Visit www.sarahbush.org.
When you buy in bulk from a warehouse store, you can get a pallet of pork and beans for a whole lot less. That's what Jansen's Heating and Air is doing for you. We recently negotiated the purchase of 80 factory fresh, fully warranted systems. And because we bought in bulk from our warehouse, you can replace your older, inefficient furnace and air conditioner as a pair and save at least $1,516. It's a lot of pork and beans. Call 347-5223.
All right, we're back at Altamont at the National Trail Conference Tournament. Final score in this one, 64-46, Altamont over South Central. Here's Matt's stats on this one.
Well, Greg, so far the best shooting game of the tournament for both teams combined. When you look at the numbers, Altamont 23 of 40 from the field, 58%. They were also 13 of 17 from the free throw line.
There you go.
A very solid 76%, and 56% from the three-point arc, going 5 of 9. South Central had a good shooting night, too, especially in the second half, where they were 11 of 20. They finished 19 of 37 overall at 51%. Free throw shooting could have been better, just 4 of 8 for 50% there, and they were also 4 of 10 from three-point land at 40%. Altamont was actually out-rebounded by my numbers, 19 to 14, as South Central had the edge there. But a big part of the ball game was the 20 turnovers from South Central compared to Altamont's 8 in the contest tonight. Individually, first for Altamont, Ryan Armstrong, 8 of 15 from the field, had 3 rebounds to go along with 20 points. Also in double figures was Brandon Hosick. He finished 4 of 5 from the field, 1 for 1 at the line, had 2 rebounds and 10 points. And Mitchell Stevenson, the sophomore, 6 of 6 from the field, 4 of 5 at the free throw line, 3 rebounds and 14 points, just as efficient as you could be. Also with 9 points was Evan Cornett on 4 of 6 shooting. He was 1 for 3 at the free throw line tonight. Adam Mayhouse was 1 for 3 from the field, 0 for 2 at the line. He was 2 for 2 at the line with 2 rebounds and 4 points. Sam Childerson, 0 for 1 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He had a rebound and 1 point. Logan Dedman was 1 for 3 from the field, 2 for 2 at the line, finished with a rebound and 4 points. Eric Wolf, 1 for 1 from the field, a rebound and 2 points. Cameron Jackman was 0 for 2 from the floor, and Drake Williams was 0 for 1. Jesus Flores grabbed a rebound for the Indians as well. For South Central Cougars, congratulations to Brett Harmeyer on crossing the 1,000-point total. He finished with 22 in the ball game, going 9 of 15 from the floor, 1 of 3 at the line, finished with 5 rebounds as well to lead the Cougars on the glass. Also 9 points from Trevor Markley on 4 of 9 shooting from the field. Dravante Hill was 1 for 3 from the field, had 4 rebounds to go with his 2 points. John Arnold was 3 of 5 from the floor, 1 of 3 at the line, 3 rebounds and 7 points. Caleb Harpster, 1 for 1 with 3 rebounds and 2 points. Logan Lutz was 0 for 2 from the field. He had 3 rebounds. Ryan Matheny was 1 for 1 from the floor, 2 for 2 at the line, a rebound and 4 points. And Ian Fox was 0 for 1 shooting in this one for South Central as Altamont got the victory 64-46. Noticeable by his absence statistically was Clayton Wolf. He did not record a stat, only played in the first half until he suffered that ankle injury, and we hope the best for Clayton.
Yeah, Coach Nieberg, said the L word, looking at a ligament, and they'll do some more examination tomorrow to find out just what Clayton's situation is. Now, we talked about Brett Harmeyer scoring a 1,000th career point. What do you suppose it's been that a boy and a girl from the same school score their 1,000th point on the same night?
Very interesting.
Abby Hahn from South Central got her 1,000th point tonight in the Lady Cougars game against Dietrich.
That's awesome.
So 2 kids from South Central, a boy and a girl, on the same night get their 1,000th career point in basketball.
Boy, this week seems to bring up those 1,000-point scores. A couple of years ago, we had 4 of them cross the threshold.
Exactly. So congratulations to Abby Hahn as well as Brett Harmeyer.
You bet.
Hitting 1,000 points for their career tonight. Brian has plenty of scores. He'll be back with those in just a minute. Again, our final here, 64-46 Altamont over South Central. That's after SEB beat Neoga 51-32. Brian will have the scores for us when we're back in a minute from the NTC tournament on 97.9 XFM.
Good luck to area teams at the National Trail Conference Tournament this week. From your F&N Napa Auto Parts store, use that Napa know-how for money-saving deals.
Bank anywhere, anytime with Go Mobile from Washington Savings Bank in Effingham. Good luck to all the teams at the National Trail Conference Tournament. Stevens Industries, in business for 55 years and an employee-owned company, has produced a winning team and has job opportunities available from production office to the manufacturing floor.
Wet Pools and Spas in Effingham, where you'll find top-of-the-line spas and above and in-ground pools at affordable prices.
Brown's Drug Store at 115 West Jefferson Avenue in Effingham is more than just a pharmacy. Check out their Hallmark cards, gifts, healthcare needs, and more.
Stevens Industries, in business for 55 years and an employee-owned company, has produced a winning team and has job opportunities available from production office.
All right, winners tonight, SEB and Altamont. Let's send it back to the studios and find out from Brian Dust at the sports desk who else won what. Right?
Okay, guys, we do have some girls' finals tonight. It was Stewardson-Strasburg-Windsor defeating Martinsville 79-42. And in overtime, Olney defeated Newton 59-48. It was Paris falling to Flora 45-40. And a big win for Taylorville as the Taylorville Lady Tornadoes defeated Charleston 79-73.
Wow.
Yeah, we also do have some finals in a lot of championship games in the Class 7 regionals. We'll start at the Stewardson-Strasburg Regional, where Pana Sacred Heart defeated Stu Straws by the score of 38-21. Also in the 1A Regional at Sigel St. Michael, the home team, Sigel St. Michael, they defeated Diederich by the score of 54-37. At the 7-2A Nokomis Regional, as you mentioned earlier, Matt, it was Altamont defeating Nokomis by 1 point, 37-36. And in the 7-3A Robinson Regional, KZ Westfield beat Marshall 30-29. And my last score of the night in boys 7-3A action, it was Titopolis winning the championship of the Shelbyville Regional 55-36 over Shelbyville. And one quick update at the 9-minute mark in the second half, it's Illinois trailing Ohio State 49-42. Guys?
Well, hanging in there. Thank you, Brian. Let's get you a couple of more scores quickly. I don't think I heard you mention these couple of Apollo Conference girls scores in addition to the ones you mentioned. Mattoon beat Salem tonight in girls Apollo action. Mattoon 68, Salem 55. That's rare that Salem and Charleston's girls teams lose on the same night.
Yeah, usually it takes one of them to beat the other this season.
And a good win for the Lady Hearts tonight. Effingham beat Mount Zion 51-22. So good win for Jeff Schaefer's crew. Congratulations to them on that victory. Now, let's talk about what's up tomorrow night, because there's a lot going on. First of all, we'll have a doubleheader here tomorrow night in a consolation bracket semifinal game at 6:15. Beecher City Cowden Herrick will play Windsor Stew Straws. The winner of that game will play in the consolation championship at 1 o'clock against SEB Saturday. The loser of that game will play at 11:30 Saturday morning against Neoga. In the nightcap here, championship bracket semifinal action, it'll be the 2 and 3 seeds as St. Anthony plays Dietrich. That'll be about 7:45 tomorrow night. We'll have both the games here for you on 97.9 XFM and 97.9XFM.com. You can also check the video stream on our YouTube channel. Meanwhile, on KJ Country at 102.3 tomorrow night, it's a time-honored classic. It's always the Friday of the NTC tournament. It's girls action, Effingham and Titopolis. Dustin White and Millie Lang will have that one for you tomorrow night, and that'll be at about 7:30-ish. And hear that on KJ Country at 102.3 and KJCountry.com. So we have you covered with plenty of high school hoops tomorrow night. And then, of course, we'll be here for 4 on Saturday from the NTC. The 7th place game at 11:30. Consolation championship about 1 o'clock. 3rd place game at about 2:30. And we know the championship game will start at 7:30 Saturday night. And we'll have all 4 of those here on 97.9 XFM and on the stream. So
thanks for everybody back at the studios that helped make all this possible, all of our sponsors, and, of course, all the listeners and viewers of the NTC tournament.
Yes, indeed. Sorry we don't have a better picture at the end like we do during the game, but such as it is, that's Matt. I'm Greg. For Brian back at the studios, and, of course, Wayne, the producer of this masterpiece, I'm Greg Sapp. We'll see you just after 6 tomorrow night. More action from the National Trail Tournament at Altamont on 97.9 XFM. Good night, everybody.